Everyone told me Moncton has 4 seasons: spring, summer, fall, and winter. You see the sun behind me? It's pretty much cold out there, but it's still sunny. What they didn't tell me is that sometimes all 4 happen in 1 week. I mean, 1 minute you are wearing a t-shirt, and the evening, or by evening, you are regretting every decision that didn't involve a jacket. Excuse me. So today, welcome to my Moncton Weather Diaries, also known as How to Survive a City That Loves to Keep You Guessing. This isn't a weather complaint video. Think of it as therapy for everyone who's ever been personally attacked by the wind. Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, I am Tammy and I have lived in Moncton long enough to learn that the real forecast is never on the app. So grab your tea, coffee, or hot chocolate, depending on what season it feels like at the moment. And let's talk about, the real truth nobody told you about Moncton's weather. Let's start with fall summer. That random warm spell in March or October that tricks you into packing away your winter clothes and believing better days have come. You step outside and the sun is shining, the birds are chirping, and you think, wow, finally. But no, Moncton was just teasing you. Because 2 days later, it's snowing again, and you're outside in a jean jacket. Rethinking your optimism. Every year I fall for it, every single time, no jokes. Maybe it's hope, maybe it's denial, or maybe Moncton just likes keeping us humble. But seriously, that's just my reality. Then there is the never-ending winter. It's serious when your snow shovel becomes a roommate. You start every day by asking, should I warm up the car for 5 minutes or just accept that my fingers are going to freeze, Moncton doesn't care about your plans. It shows up early, overstays its welcome, and by the time it finally leaves, you have built emotional resilience. You start saying things like, it's just flurries, even when it's a full on snowstorm. You don't measure snow in inches anymore, You measure it in barely anything, or don't even bother. By April, guess what? You are emotionally done. And by June, you don't trust sunshine anymore. Yes, that's just the reality. Now let's talk about the rain with commitment issues. It rains just enough to ruin your outfit, your hair, your plans, but not enough to justify carrying an umbrella. You open your weather app, it says clear skies, and boom, drizzle. You rush to grab your umbrella, and suddenly the rain disappears. Like it was never there. Coincidence, you say? No. It's just Moncton's way of keeping us on our toes. And the worst part, the rain always chooses the exact moment you are wearing something that shouldn't get wet, For example, suede shoes. You have a fresh hair on, you just made your hair, you know what I mean? Or your one cute jacket. It's personal at this point. Now let's talk about the Wind Olympics. Because Moncton wind is not just wind. It's an extreme sport. It will test your strength, your patience, and your hairstyle. You can walk out the door looking like the main character and end up looking like you've been through a mild battle. If your trash bin survives a windy day, that's a local achievement. Yes. If you ever chased a grocery bag down the street, congratulations, you're officially a Monctonian. There is no winning against it. We have stopped fighting the wind. We just respect it now. Yes, that's what we do. We just respect it now. And then the redemption arc, when spring finally shows up, one random morning you step outside and the air smells heavenly, smells forgiving, the snow's melting, and the sun feels warm again. And for a brief second, you forget what first bite feels like. Spring in Moncton is short, but it's beautiful. People are suddenly nicer, ice cream shops open. That's always my favorite part of the year. And the boardwalk, oh my god, becomes the unofficial hangout spot, It's that short chapter that makes all the chaos worth it in Moncton. But here's the thing, as unpredictable as Moncton weather is, it's also what makes the city feel alive. The same way it frustrates you, it also makes you adaptable. You start keeping a jacket in your car at all times, not because you want to, but because you have learned. You check the sky before leaving the house, and yes, you refresh that weather app like your life depends on it. At some point, you realize having a weather app here isn't optional, it's survivor. The only problem is it lies. You heard me. It lies. Because 1 minute it says partly sunny, and 5 minutes later it says mostly raining with a chance of emotional damages. Oh my god. So you learn to trust your instincts more than your phone. And then comes the fashion struggle. Dressing for Moncton weather is basically a mental puzzle. What I mean is, you can't just wear what you want, You have to strategize. Imagine how sunny it is, and I think I want to go out this way. Girl, you'll be in hot soup, So you need to layer your outfit. Layers are your best friend, Light sweaters with jackets you can remove later, boots that can handle slush but still look very cute, a hoodie for safety, and if you really know what you are doing, an emergency towel and gloves somewhere in your car, even in April. Basically, in Moncton, the weather decides your outfit, not your mood. That's it. Yeah. But somehow, despite all of that, it's part of what makes living here special. The unpredictability keeps things interesting. You start appreciating little joys, the first day the hair smells like spring, the first morning you don't need to, scrape your windshield, or that rare afternoon where it's warm enough for just a t-shirt. Those moments hit differently here. Mountain weather builds patience, humor, and a kind of emotional flexibility that every Canadian city secretly respects, yes. It's unpredictable, yes, it's chaotic and sometimes just plain confusing, but honestly, that's part of its charm. You heard that right. That's my honest Moncton, weather diary. The real truth somebody never told me before moving here. Sometimes it feels like the sky has moods, but at some points we all just roll it, just go with the flow, because once you have survived Moncton's weather, you can survive pretty much anything in Moncton and in Canada generally, trust me. Anyways, tell me, what's the wildest Moncton weather moment you have experienced? Or maybe a different province, Snowstorm in May, rain on your laundry day. Drop it in the comments below. I want to hear your story. And if you enjoy this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with anyone who's ever had their umbrella flipped inside out in Moncton wind. See you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching. I love you all. Bye.